Welcome, everybody. Gup here on Monday afternoon, December 30th. As you guys all know, that we launched the premium PGA Tools Research Center last night. Wanted to take through a quick walkthrough. This will be a high level overview, hopefully 15, 20 minutes. This will be going out to everybody. So we'll have it on our site, on the YouTube channel, and then we'll also throw it in the Slack and everything for the members. So high level, kind of gets you to know what's all in it in case you're on the fence. And then as we get 2 or 3 weeks in and we make some tweaks, updates, stuff like that, I'll do some more in-depth tutorials for the members only once we kind of settle into everybody that's going to lock and load these for the year. First, I'll just tell you real quick, if you're on the site, whether it's computer or whatever, you can click memberships. It'll show you all the memberships here. If you're new to the site, so you're watching this, you want to join it, you can click whatever membership you may want. So the way we break down our site is content analysis, which is everything we've always offered from day one. MLB, NBA, which those are new, but MLB, NBA, NFL, college football, PGA, NASCAR, horse racing, all of our individual content and analysis on those sports. So when you buy that, you get all this stuff that's in here. You can read it on your own. These are our prices for the next 2 weeks. So through Monday night, I believe it's January 13th or 14th at midnight, you can get 20% off with the code Hawaii if you are a new member. If you're a current member, we released a private code to you guys last night that you can utilize. You obviously don't need the content analysis, but on the tools section. So if you want to get just the content analysis, these are the prices, and you can get 20% off of those. So that's what we've always offered. And then we introduced football tools here in the fall. If you'd like to look at those, obviously football season's wrapping up. The benefit now is that using the discount and everything, you could lock in the price at 20% off, and you would have it going into next year. One big addition we have coming for the golf tools and the football tools will be a lineup generator that we're partnering with another site. We're very close to locking that in, and so I announced it last night in the Slack, but I'll announce it publicly once we get everything locked in. So that's why you have a combo here. It obviously saves you some money to combo up on the the football tools and content analysis. If you're watching this, you're mainly probably here for the golf tools. So you can go to the golf tools package, and if you strictly just want to check out the golf tools, you get done with this, you can get 20% off of this. Remember, if you're a current member, be sure to check the Slack out, and we will also send a mass email out to all current members with the information so you can utilize your special discount for being loyal with us on these tools over the next 2 weeks. The best offer we probably have is the full site coverage. But if you wanted to get the content analysis, so that's all my rankings, Tambo's articles, Kenny Kim's articles for golf, and then football, we have Ryan's Cash. NBA is covered wall to wall with Preston and Dan. MLB will be covered by D-Rock. All those write-ups, articles, tips, all that stuff is included in here. And you like the tools, you can come in here, get content analysis plus tools. There's your prices for that. You can get 20% off of that as well. If you're just, hey, this all looks awesome, I'm in, I want everything, you can come into the full site coverage. This includes everything you see on the site, $299 a year, $40 a month. You can get 20% off all of those as well. So whatever package you want, you get 20% off of right now. For all non-members and current members, you can also go to our store right now, use the code ALOHA, and get 20% off anything you see here. You got the new Gups Corner combo, $39.99. We have our first shirts that we released last year, 20% off of those as well. We are raising money for the HV3 Foundation. You get 20% off of that. All net profits go to HV3 Foundation. As soon as we sell those out, we'll be able to cut them a nice check. So help us out there. You guys got in early on the $699, $69 plan. You always ask me, how can we help you guys out? I feel like I'm stealing from you. We're not ever going to raise your prices. You locked in early last February. So this is the way you can do it. Buy merchandise for us, especially the HV3 deal. We want to show them that we're there to support them. So you can just click on that store. Even if you're not a member, you can go click on that, buy it, use the code ALOHA one more time and get that. Another reason to buy a combo package is, let's go to I don't actually know where the link is, but I will get to it. Oh, right here. So you can see the Honda Classic giveaway we're doing. So one person will win a all-inclusive trip to the Honda Classic with the Gups Corner team. We will draw this out February 3rd, the Super Bowl Sunday, and it'll be February 2nd, Super Bowl Sunday, and then we'll announce it on the Smash Factor February 3rd, the winner. Flight and lodging up to 6 nights with the Gups Corner team, 2 rounds of golf, including entry to the DFS Open, which we are a sponsor of. Ryan and Joe are putting that on. You can click that link if you want to go read about that tournament. It's going to be a great deal out there. You can see all the guys, partners in that. 60 days away for that. That's awesome. So then you get daily tickets to the Honda. If you can't make it all, we're going to be there basically Wednesday through Sunday, leave Monday morning, but whatever your schedule works out, hopefully you at least can join us Thursday night or Friday so you can go to the DFS Open deal Friday night. And then Saturday is the golf tournament, but we have tickets already purchased for you for that. And then we have club passes on Sunday for you as well to join us in a private or in a club suite up at the Honda on the 17th green, I believe. So that's going to be awesome. You can earn 7 tickets into the drawing, whether you're a new member or a current member. So this is the way you earn it all. A lot of people are asking, how do I earn it if I'm a current? If you're a current member and you already have these categories, you will get entered into that drawing already. So if you're already a content analysis member, you already have a ticket, you're done. If you bought tools, you already have a ticket, you're done. If you buy the annual, these are all annual, so you have to be an annual member. If you buy an annual tools here today or in the next 2 weeks, probably I would have take care of the discount. You get 2 tickets. That combo package I was just talking about, you get another ticket. Rate and review us on iTunes is the easiest and free way to join. Get a ticket that gets you a 6 ticket. If you do all these, you get 7 tickets, call it like lucky 7 into the drawing. We will draw again on Super Bowl Sunday. So you have now until the end to lock in all your tickets. If you do the all-inclusive package, so basically today, if you buy the all-inclusive package, the merch combo, and give us a rate and review, you have 7 tickets into the drawing. If you already have some of those packages and you add on the golf today, rate and review us, and then you have a merch package already bought, then you got 7 tickets, you're good to go. Now that we got through all of that, I just want to explain that because a lot of guys ask questions. Is it included? Is it not? If you've been with us since the get-go, this is the package you've always had and you will always have. Same price, never increases. Whenever you lock it in, it's your price. So when we added NBA and MLB, we didn't increase prices or anything for you guys. You guys got your price locked in. So that'll never change. And everything that's in there will remain in there. Nothing's changed on that. Didn't change during football season. All the content was still there. You got it. If you choose to add the football tools on because you want to do some customized looking, deep diving, I'll just show you a couple things if you had never seen it. So for college football, I think we had as good as coverage as anybody. We had the scouting reports this year. So you could dive into yards per play, yards per attempt, by conference, by team. Great information there. We have a stat engine. We have weekly projections. We have the season-long cheat sheet. Same for NFL. We had the red zone advantage on the NFL that was kind of unique for that. So this kind of told you break down the matchup advantage. All these will be overhauled and enhanced through the offseason. This is our first year to roll them out. And we also will have a lineup generator, hopefully by the same provider that's going to do the golf lineup generator. So that'll be an add-on as well. So even though it's winding down, it would behoove you to go ahead and lock in a combo package, right, and get it locked in, and you'll have it come next year. So here's the red zone. It tells you, attempts, completion, touchdowns, rushing, NFL. All this can be go in depth. I just want to kind of show you that. But if you would like to take a look at that, you can do that. But everybody that's listening to this is mainly here for the PGA tools. So let's get started on that. So simply you go to PGA Tools. We have 4 deals. Lineup generator, like I said, we are finalizing details and contracts with the partner. Once I have it locked up and can announce, I will. We are targeting the Sony Open or the tournament after that. I can't remember off the top of my head for that to be live and going. The prices won't change. So we're not going to add it on as another add-on price, whatever. We're just, that's already kind of there. So that'll be awesome to get that up and going. Our DFS contest sweat tool, you'll be able to see it once it comes up this week. It'll be there's not much there, probably nothing there now. It'll be like the kind of breakdown 6 to 6s. You'll be able to go in there. It'll only be certain contests for now until we get it more automated, but the big contest for sure, like the Millie Maker type or the $8 this week. So like this week would be the main 4 contests that you already see on the app, the DK app right now. And then we're going to integrate some of the other apps as well, FanDuel, and then especially Super Draft, as we work with them on integrating their product with us, as they're a big sponsor of ours this year. But that you'll be able to go in there and you like click your name and it'll show you how many lineups. Say you have 20 lineups in the $8 this week. It'd show you how many of your 20 has 6 to 6, 5 to 6, 4 to 6. How much does the field have? Stuff like that. It's a really cool tool. If you guys were with us in the fall, you took advantage of some of that. The live tourney tools. Well, this was kind of what we debuted in the fall. One of the reasons why we're shooting the videos, because I think most people think this is kind of it, and this was like a baby piece of it all. When the tournament goes live this week, you'll be able to see the live leaderboard, the scorecard, the round scoring, the hole scoring, the strokes game metrics will all be up here. Obviously, right now you can go in there and you can see the field and the pricing for DK. Eventually, you'll be able to see DraftKings pricing and the Super Draft multiplier. So you can go in there. If someone gets labeled out, then you'll be able to tell it. Straight basically from DraftKings right now. And then tee times, once those come up, you'll be able to see what tee times are out, round 1, round 2, so on and so forth. This is also live during the tournament. So once the round 2, round 3 showdown stuff comes up, you can go in there and check those out, and you can click contest and you can see the 4 contests I mentioned. You can see the entry fee, the max entries, max fee, how many entries are already in it, the max that can be in it, top prize, stuff like that, rake percentage, and then the overlay currently. So you can check that out live anytime you want. This is more dynamic during the tournament. This will be something I may go in depth in once we go live again, and we can do a more deal from our premium members. Now the bread and butter, I guess. So the research center, a lot of work went into this. I'm going to go high level here. I don't want people bored forever. This thing, I could spend hours on it. My throat's a little dry today. It finally got below 40 here in San Antonio, so my body's in shock, I guess. I'm not used to the cold living down here now. So what we do, the Tournament of Champion field is loaded. You'll see your model inputs here. You'll see them change here in a second. You can do up to 8 calculations. You can do 2, you can do 6, you can do 4. It doesn't matter. Let's just, and then you pick your weight for each one. Number of rounds you want included in the tool. So for that specific stat only, how many rounds do you want it to look at on the field? Minimum rounds is if you want a guy that has to have X amount of rounds played with shot tracker data, you can put that. So if you got a guy that has only played 3 rounds and you just don't want him in there because he's going to skew the information, then don't do it. Over here is going to tell how far do you want it to run back. So you can click go back any amount of months. You can go back, hey, I want to go back 2 years, whatever. I'm going to go back to July 1st, 2018. Over here, this comes in handy if you want to look at, I only want to look at these type of courses. So maybe you think the TOC, Century TOC reminds you of 6 different tracks. Well, you can come in here and select those six tracks and it'll only pull information from that. If you leave them all checked like that, it's just going to pull in each player's last rounds everywhere. It doesn't matter. You can select or deselect how many, if the par matters to you. So maybe you only want to look at par 72 courses. You can take them out and it'll remove anything but par 72. Yardage, if you want to, maybe we get to a super long track, you may go, I want to, it's got to be at least 7,100 yards for me to be included in the data. You may go, I don't care. I just want to see all the information it has. The grass type is kind of cool because it only affects the stat you're on. So, if we're going to start with, let's say our first stat of the week, pretty generic one, approach. So I'm going to go approach. You'll notice up here it'll change. I'm going to do 20%, And I want to see the last 36 rounds, 6-round minimum since July 1st. I don't care about the course filter. I don't care about the fairway type. I don't care about the green because it's approach. Who cares? And the rough. And you may go. I just want to see. I'm not 100% what TOC is. I would imagine like Ben or Bermuda, or maybe it's a Hawaii. So I hadn't done all my research yet, as you can tell. That's what's next up for me to get ready for the show tonight. But you could do bent only. Doesn't matter. That's up to you. And then you'll notice down here, you can, any given week, you'll be able to do everybody that's in the database. So right now, I think there's 391, or you can say, I just want to look at the field only. So how does everybody compare on the field? What you'll notice over here is this kind of gives you your average. And this tells you, this is nice because it'll tell you, as we go through each stat, it will tell you kind of the importance of that stat for that potential course. We'll also have this included in the course research at another time. Let's also tell you kind of the field versus all. Being the Tournament of Champions, you have a bunch of winners here. You should see a lot of the blue kind of at the top, you would think. And you can kind of see outliers. So Martin Trainer, you're like, man, not very good approach. Got hot one week, probably with the putter. And you can kind of see the outliers, Morikawa, Cantley. This just kind of tells you the spread of the field. If you're not in the grass, no big deal. It doesn't matter. So this shows me that I've already got, my first stat. So I'm going to go to my second stat. Let's go. Obviously, you can see everything in here. Round scoring, par 3, par 4, par 5. DraftKings scoring, FanDuel scoring. We will have Super Draft stuff in here once we get, like I said, we got to get with them. We're working with them to integrate their product. This is their first year doing PGA full-fledged. Strokes gained total, all the strokes gained metric, better or worse. Good drive, great drive. So good drive kind of is basically takes your accurate off the tee plus like one standard deviation away from the mean. So obviously really good, great drive. The difference there is it gives you the average. The same thing is good plus one. So it basically gets you about your top 16% of drives when you're looking at it that way. This is something I'll go more in depth into in a few weeks as we start, deep diving. But I wanted to say that approach is kind of the same deal. Good approach is, accurate onto the greens within X amount of feet, and great is accurate off as approach with, it's not quite 1+1 standard deviation. It's a little bit different, but just, more accurate than good. So it takes away from it kind of enhances the tool if you want. One thing that's nice, and I'll kind of go into on the deep dive tutorials, will be you can do multiple stats in the same model. I'll show you one here in a second. So let's do ball striking as our next one. That's pretty common. So we're going to do 20%. I only want to look at 24 rounds on this one. And I'll go back to my same July 1st. You can also type it in. Depends on whichever one you want, whatever's quicker. I'm not going to mess with any of that right now just for show. Going to get your same spread here, field only. You'll see the change. And then it's registered up here. So it tells you 36 rounds, 24 rounds. Calc 3. Let's say I want to look at ball striking again. I want to wait 10% on this one, but I want to go back, let's do 64 rounds. Same deal. So what that's going to do is I have 2 ball strikings, but I'm going to wait 20% on a more recent number, and I'm going to wait 10% on a longer number. Give you short range, long range type stuff. That's something, I thought was kind of cool to add into this. Go to Calc 4. Let's look at, this is a tournament where scoring obviously matters. So we're going to do round scoring DraftKings, weight at 20%. Let's look at the last 36 rounds. Again, same stuff. Calc 4, you'll see changing up here. So we will have a totals column here eventually too. There's like 3 or 4 things we're adding in tonight. We just need to get it out. So I got 70% right now. Let's do greens and reg are going to be important. 15%, 24 rounds. Good to go there. And then my last one I want to do, fairways don't, I don't believe this is the one where fairways don't matter as much. I think they're wide as heck. That may be the Sony, but I'll obviously verify all that. And a lot going on the last week getting ready for this stuff. So maybe tee to green. So who's playing the best regardless without putting taken in? Well, let's do a putting. So let's say you wanted to do putting, which we rarely do, for the last 15%. Let's say I want to look at 36 rounds. I believe these are bent. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's just assume they're bent. So now I go bent only. Oh, never mind. No one's messed up. Let's go to greens. I'm gonna go bent only. So what I like about this is all these other stats were taking all the grass in. So now just Calc 6 is going to only take in. So only the putting stat is looking at the green type. So now I've got my putting in. I'll verify what kind of grass it is. But so now I got 6. And let's say I don't want to do a 7th and 8th. Just leave it blank. It doesn't weight anything. Eventually we'll have some dynamic switches here where you can just say, not include. It doesn't include it anyways because there's no weight, but it's good. It is what it is right now. So I got my 100% here. We go to model output. I go to field only. You can still run it field only, or man, ADHD is on the money. I literally just had the conversation with him because this was only pulling all players in, but now it's doing both. So say you're just looking at everybody, you could kind of run a year-to-date model, the last 3 months, how these guys running in my model as a whole at any given time. You don't have to have it for the field. But let's say we just want to look at field only. Boom. It's going to rank our guys by our weights that we had over here. Then if you want to take that to Excel, you click output, boom, you got your CSV. You can go to work, do whatever you want. You'll notice that we left those last 2 blank, so they're not playing it at all. So based on that little one I just made up, this would say, very tight up here at the top based on the score. Cantley, Morikawa, JT, Casey, Neiman, all these guys would be kind of guys you may like. That's just step 1. So that kind of gets you a model. You can go back, change them, rerun it, do whatever you want. Pretty dynamic. Event I like. So this will tell you we're only looking at the Tournament of Champions. One nice thing about here is let's say we get to kind of the RCB Heritage, courses like that, or Pete Dye tracks. Eventually we'll probably have Architects or something as well in here. You could select 6 of these and go, okay, based on those 6, show me whatever. And you can do that over here as well. This is more for the event. Again, all players are field only. Probably most of the time you want to look at all players because what you're doing here is just seeing what I like to use it for is what's been important here over the last X amount of years. But one thing I like about this one is, let's say in 2018, it was windy as shit and a shit storm, rain, whatever at given event. And those numbers are so far off compared to everything else. We just uncheck it. It'll remove it from the data. And now we're just looking at 16, 17, and 19. Strokes gain. Okay, what's been important here? Is it, tee to green? Probably always will be. Between off the tee, approach. It looks like approach is really important, 3.6. Around the green, not so much. Obviously, there's no miscut here. Putting, always going to probably be important. One thing you could also do that I like is this will stack rank the entire leaderboard for whatever years you have selected. So, and all these tabs eventually will have export buttons, or not all of them, but some will have export buttons. But so this will tell you the greatest round out of the years I have selected. Let's just go ahead and select them all. The greatest round out of these 4 years is, I think it's Spieth. It was Jordan Spieth in 2016. And you'll notice the older years, there's only the tee to green and putting. We hadn't brought those in yet. So the newer years, you'll see everything. What's nice about that is you can kind of see, is there an outlier year? That helps you if one guy has good course history here, because you can kind of go, he's really only had one good round, not a ton, or one good year, not a ton. And then you can kind of see the guys that have won it up here, what did they do well? And then it kind of gives you another way to look at outliers. So let's say, just hypothetically say, Xander, who charged back and beat Woodland last year and stole money away from us as we had Woodland on the outright. maybe his putting's like 9. And actually, it's kind of higher. You can see he had a unique putting compared to these 3 guys that shot well. He's double there and a little bit above there, but it kind of lets you look at what kind of sets up well for this course. Not only players, but just kind of statistically wise, gives you another different look. DFS, I was going to show you one more thing. You can go to round data as well, and look at the round data, scoring, strokes gained, however you want to do that, same difference. DFS, it's going to show you points, FanDuel, stuff like that, DK points. Some of this stuff still getting cleaned up, but it'll show you their DK points. These 3 are not active yet, though they will become active across all these fields. But that's pretty cool to get your kind of feel for the tournament. Who's played well here, how they played here, what's been significant, that kind of stuff. Field research is now you've got your model. You look at your guys, you look at the course, you know what you're looking at. I want to go in here and I want to look at, this is just standard. So it's going to be last 24 rounds, strokes gained, who's leading in the field, strokes gained approach, last 24 rounds, JT, then Cantley. Everything we do is per round number, or per shot type deal. So it's not per round. It's not like a total or anything. So it's aggregate. So in the sense that, everything's apples to apples. So if a guy's played, I don't think we'll see it here, but if a guy had played, it's only going to show 10. I guess I read my own stuff. If a guy had only played 20 rounds in the last X amount for whatever reason, it would only show that so that it would be per round, not total, so that you're not getting skewed numbers. You can come to the detail for an individual guy and say, I want to look at how's Paul Casey been. Let's look at his last 24. It's going to show you all, obviously. We're going to add a feature where you could eliminate some if you wanted to. But this is more of a trend. So you can kind of check out, all right, how's he been doing overall? What was his best approach rounds? How long ago was it inside of his last 24? What if I want to look at his last 48? I can go to Paul Casey last 48. Obviously, the fall swing skews that stuff, but how's he trending? You can see I hadn't played a whole lot, so I may go over to the Euro and see as he played on the Euro, stuff like that. You can get basically any golfer in the field you can go look at and do that kind of exercise with. Look at what you want to look at, whether it's scoring, so you can see how many birdies has that guy had, what courses was it on, so on and so forth. Really neat feature here to do your deep dive on each guy. Course research is going to be the same as the event research, but now we're looking at specific courses. This is what I was kind of getting at an event. I kind of stopped myself, but here's where you could come in and go, not only who's done well here, but these should be dynamic as well. I'll get with ADHD on that, where you can select them all, but who's done well and what's it taken to win on that hole. So you can kind of see, we got 2019. Let's look at all, and you can see the round, the hole, par, how many birdies, how many eagles. So this kind of breaks down the course. This is probably our least developed right now. We obviously had to stop at some point, but you can come in here and look at all the course information by hole. So if you want to look at certain things, par fives, how many birdies, how many eagles, and we'll have some dynamic add-on to this part that'll be really nice. The good thing about it is you will be able to come in here and just like the event, we hadn't got to it, you'll be able to select multiple. So if you wanted to look at a few together, you could, but it's more for that specific week. Let's look at the course, and we'll have this just like the event where you can select all of them as well. Those are all add-ons for tonight, but really wanted to go high level. There's so much more I could dive into, but I really think this would give you, again, just really neat information. So if you see Cameron Champs played well here, been on the leaderboards, and now I want to go look at him and go, all right, he's played well here. That's good. Let me go, how's he playing coming in here? Let's go look at how he's playing the last 48 here. In his 48 is his good rounds. These are pure scoring, but I like to look at strokes gained, obviously. How's he been? How's his form coming in to the key stats I'm looking into based on that he's done well here before? And I just made that up with Cameron Champ because that was the name I saw. But overall, that kind of gives you the high level view of everything you can do. There's obviously a lot of in-depth stuff that can be done in detail. Obviously, that detail part comes in detail as far as the whole tool. I really think that gets everybody who thought that maybe just what we had in the fall was that's what all it's about. You can obviously see it's not. We have a lot in here that's going to grow, and your feedback is going to help. So if you're a member now, go to the pound or hashtag premium tools Slack channel. Drop us feedback in there. It'll help Josh and I, ADHD and I, tweak. And we have stuff already ready. We just want to get it out for this week. One more time, remember, you go on memberships, check out whichever ones you want. The code, if you are a new member prospect, is Hawaii. You get 20% off whatever you want, 20% off merchandise as well with Aloha. But check out all our memberships, and you can get 20% off through the Sony Open. And that Monday after the Sony Open on the pod, we'll rehash it. Go ahead and give you one more day in case you getting that itch, and then we'll probably cut it off. That'll probably be it until really our big Masters run. So now's the time to take advantage of it. Hopefully you saw enough there that kind of entices you. If you are a current member, you'll get an email later on with the details if you happen to not be a Slack guy. But we also released the code that gives you a loyalty bonus for being loyal to us to get your golf tools. Maybe you're a member now, you didn't buy the football tools, but you kind of see the football tools are going to move more towards kind of how the golf tools were there. Football tools were great this year. We're just going to enhance them a little bit, add on to them. We'll have a whole off season to get those enhanced. So they'll be better, plus have the lineup generator, and all of our pricing is up to date for all of that. Appreciate your time. Hope I didn't take too long. If you have questions, you can reach out to me, ADHD, JB, any of us. We'll funnel it. Support@gupscorner.com as well if you want to shoot an email. Best way is DMing us on the Slack or Twitter if you're prospecting and you don't know Twitter. If you're not in the Slack, obviously @GUP_GCFFG on Twitter. Hit me up on a DM and I'll answer any questions you have. I will be back later this afternoon, hopefully late this afternoon, with the Century TOC podcast for the Smash Factor using these tools to build my model and everything. So see you guys in a few hours. And if you have any questions, let us know. Thanks.